The Brooklyn Nets have hit their stride. You guys have see the title, and you guys know they are the hottest team in the association right now. 9 straight wins. They're number 3 in the Eastern Conference. My man XV is Stunner. X is Stunner. XV is Stunner. He sent a super chat. He said Brooklyn contenders.
15 is tuna.
15 is tuna. 15 is tuna. The Brooklyn Nets are contenders, 13-1 in the last 14 games. We're gonna start with this. How are we feeling?
Let me start with Chill. That's his team right there.
Oh, it's my team. You already know how I feel about Brooklyn. I'm out. I've been out and I'm still out.
Hey, you're staying out?
I'm out. I'm out on Brooklyn.
You still want them off your TV?
I'm out on Brooklyn, and I know exactly what you guys are seeing. I see what you see with KD. I just want to put this on your mind, guys. December 27th, 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. The Brooklyn Nets are 23-9. There was a stretch where KD, I believe he was going 60, 40, 90 at one point, and he was rolling. I want you to rewind the clock back to this day, 2022, December 27th. The Brooklyn Nets. 22-10. That was good enough for second place in the East. KD had a 15-game stretch last year where he went 57, 55, and 80. So what I'm seeing right now is no different than what I seen last year. This crew got together, and they got together for one reason and one reason only, and that's to win it. If you guys are trying to sell me that KD is here to sell a bunch of stats and to look great, we could have stayed in Oklahoma City for that. The reason why he got on in Golden State, because that was a better situation for him. He didn't come to Brooklyn just for stats. They came to Brooklyn to win it. And what I've seen over the last 3 years, I've seen injuries and I've seen underperformances when it mattered the most. So what I'm seeing right now, I'm not impressed. And the reason why I'm not impressed, because I've seen it already. Now, I know Ben Simmons actually looks pretty good with this crew, and they put him in the dunker spot. Not only do they put him in the dunker spot, they put him at the high post when teams are playing zone. The problem that we having with Ben Simmons is the same problem that we having with Joe Harris. We can't hide these dudes during the playoffs. Not only can we not hide these dudes during the playoffs, they're going to get exposed. And they're going to get exposed to a point where it's going to be a huge problem. We already know Curry's deficiencies defensively, and they're doing a good job at hiding him. But Royce O'Neal looks good. I'm not going to fight that. Ben Simmons is actually playing better than what he did when the season started. All of these guys got together for one reason and one reason only, and that was to win it. What I'm seeing right now, I'm not impressed with it. Until you show it to me when it matters the most, I'm out.
Wow. I don't know. Personally speaking, I mean, their defensively was moving me a little bit. They're top 10 in defense now. A large part has to do with Ben Simmons and Claxton. Mm-hmm. It does scare me down the stretch of games how comfortable teams feel double teaming Kyrie and Durant down the stretch.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, I don't know if that's gonna, that may not work in their favor. But at the end of the day, 13-1 in the last 14. Not only is Simmons and Claxton looking really good, Kyrie is back. He's looking much better. The three-point shot that was a little bit wavering in the beginning part of the year, that's looking much better. Durant is having arguably the greatest mid-range shooting season of all time because the way he's just knocking him down is absurd. Joe Harris and Seth Curry are a bit redundant. I wish they would just go out there and get an actual wing. TJ Warren come in, he's looking much better as well, but I'm not saying I'm sold on them to win, but before the season began, I had them in the second tier. And for me right now, I think they're in the top tier alongside Milwaukee, alongside Boston, and Philly. For me, I think they're in a contention spot. Clearly.
I had them in the 6th spot before the season started. That's where I had them at.
Don't look like they're gonna reach that. And also, to be fair to them, in the beginning of this stretch, I thought it was really just a lot of mediocre teams beating Cleveland, beating Milwaukee, especially in the fashion in which they did so.
Yeah.
They also beat Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't remember. Somebody didn't play in that Toronto game.
OG didn't play.
OG didn't play, yeah. Mm-hmm. But they've beaten. It's not like they've beaten a bunch of just bad teams, some of which have been bad, like Charlotte and Detroit, of course. But they've also beaten quality units as well. They're going to continue to up the difficulty in schedule. But if they continue to win these games, it's kind of hard for me not to look at them and say this is a legit team.
Right.
Big Ox, how you feeling about this 9-game win streak and winning 13 of the last 14 games?
I mean, no doubt it's impressive.
You can't take that away from them. But I'm still on the same train I was at the beginning of the season, as far as I don't think they're big enough down there to win, to win deep in the playoffs. They could get to a second round. I don't know. I can't call exactly where they'll go in the playoffs, but I'm disappointed that they didn't sign Dwight early. Maybe they still can. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure they will at some point sign another big, but until they do that, I'm still not sold. But I mean, it's impressive though. You can't take away the wins that they've gotten so far in this stretch.
Ant Talk Hoops chimed in. He said the Nets will win a championship this year.
Winning it.
Stop hating, Chilltown.
Winning it. Nah, we ain't going that far. We're not winning it. Because again,
listen,
go ahead, Tone.
No, I was just gonna say, look, coming into the season, it's very well documented. I thought KD was gonna take a bit of a step back. What I expected from KD was one of two things: putting up numbers like LeBron is on a losing team, or putting up numbers that are like lower than expected on a losing team. I expected them to be in the play-in, and that's what I expected. Everybody's healthy. Jacques Vaughn seems to be making a difference. I'm not putting all the blame on Nash, but when they're healthy, we've already said that team is talented enough offensively to be really, really good in the East. Right. It's a matter of, can they play any defense? Right now, they're playing some defense, and that's why they're winning games, because their offensive's there. Everybody's starting to kind of fill into their roles. Jacques Vaughn is doing a good job coaching. Kevin Durant is actually playing way better than I expected on a winning team. So that's great, and we got to give them their credit. They're playing amazing. The stretch, they're third in the East. No one expected them, I think, to be that high except for Nets fans. If they can replicate this now in the playoffs, that's the question. I'm starting to think they can, but I need to see a little bit more. It is still end of December or January. So, but if they play like this, can they beat the Bucks and the Celtics? Yeah, we know that they can. So in a 7-game series, anything's possible.
Do we know that though, Tone? Do we know that they can beat them?
The way the Bucks playing recently, I don't know.
The way the Bucks is playing, make no mistake about it, Lo. The skill set with KD is still there. That's never a question. Same thing with Kyrie Irving, which is ironic because Kyrie Irving has been healthy. Not only has Kyrie Irving been healthy, he's been less problematic than he's been in the past. So that's helping, right? You don't hear him talking to the media nearly as much. You don't hear a lot of nonsense going on with him. The idea with Kevin Durant, we all know that he's still got the goods. He's just on the other side of who he used to be. He's still that dude. The problem is that we haven't on the interior, their ability to rebound. What they do is they mask gang rebound. They mask their inefficiency at the rim because KD is probably their best rim protector. So they mask that with gang rebounding, just like Portland does. Now, that's going to get exposed in the playoffs when you play against bigger teams like Milwaukee, when you play against bigger teams like Philadelphia, when you play against bigger teams like Boston.
They're going to add a big. You know that they're going to add a big.
Right.
I'm 1,000% positive they will add a big to help.
Who can they add?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know they can trade, but they can still make a trade.
Because Bob talking about Dwight Howard, I can appreciate that logic. I don't know if Dwight Howard is the answer for them.
I'm not sure. Who can they add?
It'll be a smaller move, right? They'll probably move. I wouldn't be surprised if they move off a Seth. And look for a big. Again, it's not going to be a dude that's going to be it's not going to be a big name. But it's going to be one of those guys we love, Chill. One of those dirty work under the radar role players that'll come in and play that role of, hey, do nothing else.
Like Drummond, even though Steve Nash wasn't using it the way he should have used it.
I don't know that Drummond's that guy, but it'll be someone along, probably even a step down from Drummond in terms of name cachet, but it'll be a dirty work type of, it's going to be like a Bobby Portis where you don't think it's going to be Thad Young. It's going to be like one of those guys you don't think of that's just going to come in and grab those boards, timely possessions. That's be like, oh, wow, he did nothing statistically, but he did the stuff that they needed done. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. If they don't do that, I'm less confident.
The Drummond name.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not Drummond. Drummond. It's not Drummond. It's not that guy.
We got Rashawn Holmes on the bench out in sack, for the right price.
And I love Rashawn Holmes, but hold on, Lo. The problem Steve Nash had last year with Drummond can't make free throws. Number one, not only can Drummond not make free throws, he's in Chicago.
Yeah, he's in Chicago.
He's in Chicago. Not only can he not make free throws, but I think Steve Nash was yanking him in and out of the line. Because Steve Nash was yanking him in and out of the lineup, he couldn't really be as effective as he could be. And I think somebody like him is exactly what they needed. Somebody, a dirty work guy, a glass cleaner, a guy that can man the paint. Somebody like that. Now, is Andre Drummond an all-league defender? No. Is he a glass cleaner? Yes. Is he something like what they need? Absolutely he is.
Is he a defensive liability? Yes.
Is he a defense? But and that's a bunch of them though. Lo, that's not just Andre Drummond.
I know what I'm saying is like if the question they need size without a doubt. I'm not denying that. I just think that it's hard to find size without giving up too much defensive liability. Because just getting a rebounder for the sake of getting a rebounder, I think is a bit easier said than done. I don't know. I also look at like other teams, and Middleton is still mid. He's not.
Yo, Marz. I would love to hear from you on the Brooklyn Nets, how you feel about them and whether they have convinced you that they can possibly make a championship run. Also, everybody keeps asking in the chat, where's Ticket? I told Ticket in order for him to come back up here, he got to take that do-rag off. So we'll see. Go ahead, Marz.
Oh my God.
Ever since the Nets got rid of Steve Nash, I've been giving them more of a chance because I knew they had no shot with Steve Nash. I was saying that since they got Steve Nash. So them getting rid of him, like I look to them as a new team. They've looked great. I don't think they're gonna win a championship. I think they're the fourth best team in the East. I think Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly are the teams I take over them. But I think if they made a run in the playoffs and got to the conference finals, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be flabbergasted if they beat Boston in the series, if they beat Milwaukee, if they beat Philly. But those are teams I take over them. KD looks like the best scorer in the world this season. Absolutely insane. His defense has stepped up astronomically. His playmaking seems to be better, but I'm going to wait to the playoffs to see how that looks. But me saying KD wasn't a top 5 player in the world, he's looking like one right now. But
You might have to retract that, Marz. Is that what you're trying to say, Marz? You might have to come
I don't have him in my
you were
top
wrong.
5.
You were wrong.
I don't have him in my top 5, but he's like a top 5 player right now.
Well, he's still not a top
having
5?
that, he's not in my top 5.
Who's top? Are you still got Curry in top 5? Even though he's out.
Yes, because he's still a top 5 player in the world. But if you want me to take out injured players, AD comes out, Steph comes out, KD gets in, but that's not how I'm gonna do it.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.